Hello, welcome to another episode of Time of Reckoning. Wherever you are viewing from or listening from, and whatever time of the day it is morning, afternoon, or night greetings to all of you, especially to those of you who subscribe to this channel. A special greetings to you. Today, the 19th day of January 2021, marks the penultimate day of the presidency of Mr. Donald Trump of the United States of America. The world by now would have seen over the last 4 years that Mr. Donald Trump was a very special person in the negative. The world watched with great delight, some part of the world, the insurrection of the United States on the 6th of January, because it gives the United States a dose of their own medicine, in the sense that the destability and instability and destabilization that they have created in many countries of the world, they now got a taste of it themselves. We can think about what is referred to as the Arab Springs, where there are many Arab nations that on a daily basis for months on end look very much like what the United States looked like on January the 6th. We can think about Iraq. We can think about Syria. We can think about Libya. And even in more recent times, we see what happened in Taiwan. The West have gone around the world to destabilize governments that they do not like their operations. Many of these countries have stabled, disciplined government and societies that have been destabilized primarily by the influence of the United States. And so on January the 6th, thanks to Donald Trump, America witnessed firsthand what they have caused in many countries around the world. Donald Trump is leaving today or tomorrow, the 20th, but thanks to him, many countries around the world are saying, that's what you guys have done to us. And so they have Mr. Trump to thank for it. While the United States have it on their hand now to think, how did we ever let this happen? What will they do to prevent another Donald Trump in the making somewhere down the road? It is clear that the foundation for another Donald Trump has already been laid, because there are sufficient numbers of persons, and the number is growing in the United States, that is willing and able to do January 6th all over again at any time. And so the resources that they now have to utilize to make sure that they keep that under wrap is astronomical. You can see what is happening there in Washington right now. Looks very much like a country prepared for war with itself. Yes, many countries around the world have lived that experience on a daily basis. It is America's time, and thanks to Donald John Trump. You have done that segment of the world very proud, because they are not able to retaliate. They watch in helplessness their country being destabilized by a country that is for them impregnable. And so Mr. Trump has shown that we can do it at home for ourselves. We don't need terrorists from overseas to do things here. We have enough of them. Yes, enough of them. And so the authorities there in the United States have to now go back to the drawing board and wonder, how are they going to deal with their own homegrown terrorists and their own homegrown grown terrorist leader as well. Because while the fellows were ransacking the place on January the 6th, you could clearly hear them saying they were doing this because that is what Trump wanted them to do. That is what Ted Cruz wanted them to do. Those are very clear audios coming from those guys. So you might take out Qasem Soleimani, you might take out all the leaders who you deem terrorist leaders around the world, but you have your own at home. Who is going to take those out? Who is going to take those out? It was long in coming, and come it did. Come it did. Many of us watch with tears the demise of Colonel Gaddafi, Muammar Gaddafi, and watch with continued sadness a society that was well managed, orderly, have been torn apart. And many other African nations right now continue to suffer because of the mistreatment of Western institutions. And so to see what happened there in the United States, you ask yourself, is it payback time? And also, we have the joy of knowing that there are no leaders, for example, in black nations that have anything to do with it. There are no leaders from the continent of Africa, for example, whether they be Arab nations or otherwise, that have anything to do with that. That's totally homegrown terrorism. And so when we used to hear about terrorist activities, it was all over there. We know over there, over there. But now the United States have their own to deal with. So, in my opinion, the writing was on the wall for a very long time. Last year, the Black Lives Matter movement took on a deeper dimension in the aftermath of the death of George Floyd. And for the first time, the Black Lives Matter movement made some imprints that were so indelible that outside Mr. Trump's Manhattan Tower, in the road is written Black Lives Matter. And outside the White House on the main road was written Black Lives Matter. It is my opinion that those two actions on the part of a racist administration is what provides the fuel for what happened there on January the 6th. And so racism that has been part and parcel of the United States from its inception has now fueled what happened there January the 6th. Black Lives Matter written in the street before you could say the home of the President of the United States. He critically said that they defaced the city. And all the fellows who are known racist in that administration, they're angry, real angry. Black Lives Matter right outside the White House in the main street. And the street of Manhattan, the same street that the president said he can shoot somebody and the police can't arrest him. They have their Black Lives Matter. So this insurrection shows that Black lives may matter, but other lives matter too. Because there were guys who were in that insurrection on the 6th wearing t-shirts marking 6 million is not enough. That is to say, the 6 million Jews killed by Hitler in the Holocaust. So that's not enough. More need to go. The Auschwitz, those concentration camps and gas chambers where so many lives were lost under Hitler in Germany. They have guys wearing those same shirts. The swastika, guys wearing those shirts. Like magnet drawing particles of steel and iron to it, those guys gravitate towards Donald Trump. So all the white nationalist groups in the United States gravitate toward Donald Trump just like magnet picking up steel and metal. And you have to ask yourself, what have they seen in this man that they felt they could galvanize around? Mr. Trump said in plain view and on national television that he's a nationalist. Of course, he left the word white off it. He didn't say he was a white nationalist, but everybody knew that's what he meant. And these guys from all of these fringe groups, white nationalist group, the Ku Klux Klan, these guys galvanize around this president. Hence, they have all the authority they need to go and show their true colors. It is amazing that the people who it matters most to did not see it coming. And now they have to go back to the drawing board to see how they are going to now deal with these matters. The Ku Klux Klan. I have asked on this channel some time ago how many people from the Ku Klux Klan and other white nationalist groups in the United States are in the police force. How many of them are in the army? How many of them serves in or on the judiciary, the court system? How many of them are lawyers? How many of them are doctors? One thing we know, whatever capacity they serves in, their mentality is the same. Their objective is a white world where everyone else is either subservient or be killed. So just like how a white nationalist police officer would kneel on the neck of someone who is black, lock his ear pipe off, and watch him dead. Another one would take a gun for no apparent reason and just shoot someone because he's black. What will the judge do when the black person appears before him? The color of his skin says he is guilty already. What happened when that black person appears before a doctor who is a white nationalist? Then his number is fixed, isn't it? So what is the United States of America and the rest of the white world seriously going to do about these white nationalists? Some persons don't like when we say white supremacy, but that's just what it is as well. You know, how are they going to ensure? Right now, as I speak, they are combing the National Guard, 25,000 of them or so, that they are now using to protect the inauguration area for Joe Biden tomorrow, to make sure that there are no persons who is complicit with white nationalism that's in there. How are they going to do that effectively? And how do they ensure that those persons are not drafted in the army? How do they know that those persons are not applying to be police officers, applying to be mayors? They do have problems on their hands when you think about it. And so we know all along what the problem is. We live it every day. We feel it every day. Small island developing states that form part of what the white world called the third world has suffered from white nationalists as well. We continue to suffer from them. We get bad financial advice from them. We get loans at higher interest rates that we can't finish paying and have to spend the rest of our lives trying to pay. We feel it every day. So, what happened there in the United States may it be a wake up call for a better world in the making. May it serve to help those persons to understand that what is happening there is happening around the world every single day for the same reasons. So I want to encourage you to give me some feedback on this information put out today. And certainly, we can only wish Mr. Biden well in his administration as we put him under the microscope come tomorrow and beyond. Thanks for viewing. Look forward to another video soon. God bless.